Hello everyone, good morning on a Saturday morning. Uh, I was away in Chicago yesterday with my family. We had a lovely outing. We were celebrating extension of my wife's birthday. Of course, we picked up a lot of shopping and a lot of things, but also uh, we kind of had a dinner at our favorite restaurant. Um, so we usually have this circuit. We go to the temple, we go to the Indian stores, and we go to the mall if possible. And then at the mall, we ate a lovely ice cream. And then by the evening, we went to dinner for what's called Dakkan Spice. Very spicy food, but Indian. And we loved that food. So me and my daughter especially, we loved that very much. So we went there, and by the time we came home, it was almost midnight. But that was okay. It's a lovely time. I'm very happy that I spent that time with my daughter and with my wife. And here I am. Got up in the morning and had the classes done, and here I'm a bit just to provide some service if I could. If somebody has any question or if they want to know what I do, how I provide services, I'm going to introduce myself once again to those people who don't know me. I'm a physician of internal medicine. I practiced in United States more than 40 some years. And after that, I wanted to promote wellness. So I'm a chief executive officer and the chief wellness officer of this online company that I found in 2000, late 1920, early. That's called Be a Pal. We want to be a pal, a friend, a helper, an augmenter, a facilitator of health measures and being well for a long time and being well in a nice way. There are joys, and then they are really not in a nursing home, not confined to house, are not burdened with a lot of medications. If they need medications, fine, but otherwise, there is a lifestyle that is wellness oriented that I live now, and I advocate to all the people so that they can take personal responsibility for their wellness and be proactive about being well. Okay, that's the thing, and that in that spirit, I'm coming here. We do help people with burnout and stress, and we do help with IT professionals with stress and burnout, other physicians and nurses, and we also help the corporations for corporate wellness and teach their leaders servant leadership. Those are the main things. But other than that, I come on the a lot of talks on the social media and give my 2 cents worth so that people can use it if they find it useful. I'm a product of modern medicine, scientific medicine, allopathy, MD, and also I'm trained in Chicago and New York, and I settled down in Iowa. I'm practicing for so many years, right? And now online, telehealth, like, but mainly helping people with the lifestyles, with wellness measures that they could. Okay, so that's kind of important for us to understand, right? And now we're going to um, help people to really get wellness going in their life, in their society, in their country, and in the planet too. I'm very worried about the planet, so I spend a lot of time thinking of measures that we could do to help the planet. Okay? So these are the two passions of mine: wellness and how to protect the planet. What can we do to leave the less carbon print? Okay? And I have a family. I have a wife and 2 children, and children are grown up now. And they're their own thing. And my son is a musician. My daughter is a business major, and she has a CEO of an ice cream company. Okay. So with that, me and my wife always work together. We run the practice together. We're running this online comprehensive together, and we do everything together. Basically, we go to lunch. We go to in the practice. We used to go as much as possible. Okay, so she's a wonderful support. Um, And then I come on these rooms just to tell people what I can be useful for. Okay, this is the kind of room where I can help you to understand ancient wisdom, yoga, Ayurveda, Vedanta, and all that. That I consider my highest, um, you know, achievement or knowledge. I was bowled over by their insights, by their wisdom. I'm not a religious fanatic or anything. I don't identify with any religions or any country, but I identify with the wisdom of scientists and also the sages. Right? So that's a always humbling experience because they both the scientists and the sages, the way they know scientists about the external things and the sages about our inner matters, right? So studying science really gave me rationality, but studying ancient wisdom gave me the peace and happiness with it. So I kind of blessed in that way. So what I do is I kind of help people understand how the modern system is making us more sick or not allowing us to be well ahead of the sickness. That's where my criticism is. But then they do give you homework, but you have to do that. And they are overwhelmed with a lot of sick patients, a lot of things that they have to do. They do a even job and they burn out too. So I have a lot of sympathy for them too. But I do point out that we could do so much more as health systems to be wellness oriented and to really apply to our lifestyles, to educate us about nutrition, optimal exercise, sleep, and also calming the mind. Mind is something that I really learned a lot from yoga. Okay? And that's really something. And also Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. Okay. So I come here just to share. I come here just to give. I come here just to understand that everybody needs a friend. So let's be a friend in any matter. So I'm here to listen to your stories if you have something about wellness or if you have something about stress and burnout. Let's talk about it. Let's come to some of the measures that we have as the solutions for people. Okay. So that's why I'm here. And anybody wants to come up, you can come up at any time and talk to me. And Sanya is there. She's a friend of mine and student of mine too. So many other people are there. So come up, Sanya. I can talk to you. I have not seen you talk to you for a while. So we can catch up with that. And yeah, it's a question of uh, morning time that I'm doing these days. I'm giving morning routines for people so that they can be prepared for the work they're going to do or whatever they do in their life, physically or strong and energetic and flexible, and keep their mind focused and not to generate stress through their reactions and really watch their thoughts so that they are not overwhelmed by information that they go to work. So go to work, enjoy it, approach it like a service and be equanimous in your reactions, whatever happens. And that way you are not burning out or you are not giving stress to the work or anybody. So get prepared in the morning, go there, work in flow, and come home and put your mind to rest and sleep well. So for that, I give preparation and really in the morning, you prepare yourself in all these spheres, like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspects. If you get yourself ready with right tools, some of them are deep breathing, observation of your thoughts, and being in the present moment and emotionally being kind and compassionate. Okay? If you can do all that, then you will be having a good day. Otherwise, modern working conditions are really giving a lot of stress to people, and people are succumbing to. Okay? So I want to help you. That's why I do this morning routine day every day in the morning. In the weekdays, sun is coming up. Let's start 8 o'clock my central time, and it will happen to something like that. Hi, Sanya. Can you hear me, Sanya? Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Okay.
Dr.Rao. It's okay now?
Yeah, yeah, you are fine. Okay. How are you?
I'm great.
Good, good, good. So I'm just
I just, yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
popping in, say
Tell
hi.
tell me what's going on with you.
Yeah, a lot going on. It's
Mm,
summer.
mm.
So a lot of more activities.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
So any questions for me? Anything I can help you with?
Um, uh, not at the moment.
Yeah, very good.
I mean, um, I just want to add a little more in terms of like a little bit of more activities to my routines.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
of course, once a week I do like a small hike and stuff like that.
Very good.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and now I'm adding a little more walking into the stuff too because I need to exercise a little more. At least on the physical. I mean, we do still the yoga, right?
Yeah,
And the things that you taught me.
yeah.
Now I just need like because it's a nice weather, right? Taking a chance to go out and
Go
do
and
some more
see my
movement.
morning routines that are recorded, then
Mhm.
you could pick it up and then do the stretching and breathing, which I talk about all the time. But in the morning, I'm kind of addressing the other day, I addressed neck pain and addressed
We did for a year,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah, but doing them in the morning and going to work is way different than just knowing it, right? So
Yeah.
I thought if I did or don't it, I will come go and do with them, so then they can maybe few people will take it up, you know. So
Yeah.
I
No,
got four things to do. One is
mhm,
stretch your body, deep
mhm.
breath, and watch your thoughts, and really understand that you don't want to be out of the moment. So be in the moment. Okay, these four you do, and three other things you cultivate. That is, try to be non-reactive and responsive. And second thing is cultivate the service attitude and cultivate the equanimous attitude to whatever happens in the day.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me about like people are talking about, uh, walking meditations and stuff like that.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
anything can be meditative if you
mhm,
are not in the thought, like you are in a awareness mode. Okay, that can be very easy for you to focus on. So what you do is you just be mindful of the feet touching the ground, right? So not obsessive, but just be aware of the touch of the ground, or as you put your foot down. If you walk on the plain earth barefoot, that's good. If not, just to feel you are facing one feet after another, and you are aware of that. Okay, you are not counting. You are not saying, "Oh, this there is some pressure, there is some pain." You can be aware of that, but don't react to it. That way, you are not carried away by the sensations that are coming through you to the walking, but you are in the moment, you are aware of them. Then that becomes walking meditation.
mm, okay, perfect.
Mm,
Thank you.
yeah, that becomes very easy because if I go to the hospital, yeah, we have a lot of these big corridors, right? Most of the hospitals, and then some hospitals there are several stories and all that. We got to go and enter a floor and go all the way to the edge of the floor to see a patient because the patient may be in that room, right? So plenty of opportunities to walk, right? So what I do is I use those uh, occasions just to keep my mind quiet and focus on what is happening here and now. Then I'm in the present moment awareness, which is the meditation.
Mm,
Don't go from the moment to something else. See, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to use this time to think over things. No, don't do that because they may not be needed. That's how we are building up a lot of information overload. But when you're thinking about something, be present with that. So if I go to the patient, I need to know his medical history, right? I need to know the medications, allergies, and I need to know what's happening with him. Is he new to us? We just admitted him. We did some tests. What are the results? All those things are focused on the patient. That thought is okay. But then, if you want to say, "Oh, this guy was nasty to me last month, and now I'm going to take it out on him," that you don't want to. You have to be aware, and then you get it out that. So you always come back to what's happening here now. What is he feeling? Is he in pain? Can I do something relief him, or can I help him with the progression of disease, whatever it is? So keeping our attention on what we are doing. It could be walking, it could be reviewing some data, all that. That if you can do just that, and then don't carry that over to your home, you are well off.
Yeah. I have another question because it
Yeah.
is sunny outside.
Yeah.
Some people are talking about like being sun resistant as well. What is that like?
What is the resistance? What does it mean? They are against the sun, or they are afraid of the sun, or what?
Sorry, like they develop like instead of having sunburn and stuff like that. I
Oh,
heard.
okay. Okay. Yeah,
You know what?
you mean that they are immune like to the sunshine, something like that?
Yeah, I think
That,
you can develop that, or
yeah,
is that
you can
true?
develop that, but that you have to be like a Ramana Maharshi, really big yogi. But generally, uh, this is a deeper yogic practice. But if you can observe like a Aham Suryasmi, that means I am the sun, and the sun is part of me. I am the sun, not in an egotistical way, but more like the same energy, right? The more you are in that, then you are not suffering because of the sunshine. So this happened with a guy who was visiting ashram of Ramana Maharshi. It is in the middle of the hill, right? And that is very hot there. Tamil Nadu, southern part of India, very hot gently. But in summer, those rocks are like, real coals, like red hot coals. So he is walking barefoot there, Ramana Maharshi. And then this guy
Wow.
also walked with him barefoot, and he could not take it after a while, you know. So he told him, do this, I am the sun, I am the sun, and then sun is not going to be separate from you, so that you have relief. And he did, and he did not develop any problem after that. You know what? Not only then, 20 years later, he was walking barefoot in Madras, which is also a very hot country. And other people asked him what happened. Then he told him this experience I had. So this is in yoga explained as sensory deprivation. Okay? That is called pratyahara. That means the ahara means food. Pratyahara means you kind of reject the um, sensations coming to you as mental food, right? So the sensation of heat coming in, and you are not close to it, and then you observe it, that heat will be giving to your nervous system what you are experiencing, very hot rock, right? But if you can understand pratyahara, practice it properly, you won't be taking the sensation into you. Very difficult. I'm not saying that easy. Very difficult. But that's the same thing with the tasty or with some cold or hot drink, whatever we are get used to the taste and the sensation from it. We cannot get rid of it because we are fortifying that sensation. In Pratyahara, you kind of don't take that sensation. Very difficult, but if you do it, it has tremendous benefits.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Yeah. No, no, practice this way, Sonia. You are going for a walk, right? Then you are listening to the wind, for example. Okay, you are listening to the wind, and let the sensation of hearing come into your ears, right? But then separate it from you instead of eliciting a reaction from you, stop it right there. Be aware of it and stop it right there. Slowly, ever so slowly, you will get used to the process. It doesn't happen right away. But once you are aware of the hearing and you are aware of the hearer who is hearing, you will be in that. Then you won't be giving to the sensation. Very complicated, very difficult, but just to practice, okay, the sensation coming to me, I'm not going to allow it to make a reaction in the mind. This is where the yogis are thoughtless but very active mind. That is what should result in dhyana, that is the deeper meditation. So I can be in the thoughtless state for a long time because years of understanding and practice. But somebody may not be there, but it doesn't mean that they can't reach the state. You understand? But if you are trained about nothing about the thought, and thoughts are coming to you and you're reacting to them, then you are fortifying that mechanism. But if you know there is a silence in me and this hearing is coming in there, but I'm going to be in my silence, then you will be in silence. This is not like an extraordinary thing or anything like that. It's a question of habit. See, normally we're exposed to the noise and we hear and then react to it without knowing anything. But all this process flows up as you are established in your own silence. So that's why I enjoy the peace and quiet of the silence most of the day. Even when I'm talking to you because I have to make a connection, I have to make a statement, I have to let you understand what I'm trying to do. But after that, why do I have to carry this? See, I slip conveniently into my silence. That's the practice. You practice that. What you do is, even if you do 2 seconds in a day, that's good enough. Okay, don't be greedy about it. It will come slowly. But try to return to the silence as a habit because you have already done what you have to do. You talk, right? And then Sanya is gone. Then why do you have to carry all that? So I kind of end that thought right there. I don't carry it on. I don't cling on. That is the yoga. You cling on to the inner silence, not to the rumblings. But what happens in modern life is we kind of get stuck with the rumblings. And then they go into our subconscious and then they come back whenever they want. So that's a very good question that Sanya asked. That's a very simple thing that you could practice, and you can really know that there is silence within us. Actually, surprising to me was silence is the mother of speech. So originally we are all in silence, but we lost so much. We are in this noise all the time, and we expose ourselves to a lot of things too. So we cannot really go our original nature of the silence. But once you go and touch that, it is very blissful. That much I can tell you. So, but it takes a lot of understanding and a lot of patience with yourself, and also unraveling the conditioning that you have gone through. Okay, so to come to that, what you do is when you get up in the morning, don't allow the mind to form its own network. The first thought, stay there. Don't allow it to go and form a nest of thoughts. Okay, be in the present. And then through the day, try to be with whatever you are. Pay attention to every action. And then in the evening, try to recall the day, how it went, and then if there are some memories, if there are some hurts, if there are some happy moments, happy or hurts or bad, empty all of them from the mind for the night. And then you will start to really feel that innate, blissful, joyful silence, and then you will be seeing. It's not by medication, it's by abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means practice. practice, practice, practice. Vairagya means detachment to all the unnecessary things, all the temporary things. We get caught in the gossip, we get caught in a lot of information that's not really important to us, and then we allow our mind to be clouded with too much information, and that is leading to all these problems. Okay, mainly we don't understand how our mind works, how our thoughts work, and how it pushes. Once you have the map about that, it's not that difficult. But you have to practice. You have to unlearn what you have learned before, and then learn new things. Okay? Good question, Sanya put. I hope you have a nice walking sensation now, and you will be in that meditative awareness when you walk, Sanya. And you know, I'm always here for you. If you want me, you can always DM me or come and talk to me. Visit the Wellness Club again, whatever you want to do. Okay? So, Sanya was practicing with me for more than 1.5 years, I think. But then she lives in Canada, and sometimes she has to get up early in the morning to come and talk to me, and that may be difficult for her. But I think she learned enough about so many things. I think she can practice on her own. But I'm always here for her, actually. So that's a good question, Sandhya. Anybody else wants to come and engage me in any discussion? That's fine. Or tell me what's going on with you. That is fine. I know these are not concepts. These are insights into operation of thought, operation of consciousness, and noise, sensations, and all that. Okay, it's a lot for people to get it. So be slow. Start where you are. For example, you think yoga is physical. Start there. But you think yoga is mental. I think you are mental and better. Okay. Actually, yoga is about our unity consciousness realizing I'm part of the unconditioned, vast, original consciousness that is present in every living creature. And to realize that, which is already there in us, not the mind, the thoughts and emotions, not the physical, then you have realized your real self. That is the life force. But usually people get used to identify with the body or with their mind or thought meet personality or ego, and then they get lost. So it takes a lot of unlearning to really know who we really are. That is called self-realization. Okay? So a lot of people know that the life force, like the energy, is not going to take a birth or take a death. It's a kind of has different forms, takes different form, but never ends or never born. Okay, the same thing they talked about in ancient wisdom. Um, Najayate mriyate va. Our inner life force, the soul, our consciousness is never born or never die. So what you lose is a body and what you lose is your mind, but not the inner life force which is going to continue, right? So once you understand that, you don't have a fear of death also. But to really know to that extent, it's a lot. Okay? First understand how you are conditioned, and then don't have to be ashamed of it, don't have to be really feel belittled or anything. That's so. The more you see it as a matter of fact, the better it is for you, and then you can work to unravel that and uncondition yourself. Okay, can be modern. You don't have any particular religion or particular faith or anything, but you can be rational and understand what you are, how you are reacting to the thought, how you are reacting to the emotions, and what's happening with you. So what you need is turn inward and study your thoughts, study your. As I say, you have to watch your thoughts as they happen. No judgment, no conclusion, anything. Just follow that. Understand. That's a lot to begin. So in the morning, what I say is get up, stretch. That's one. And four things you want to do: stretch and deep breathe, and watch your thoughts, and be in the present. These four you can physically do. And then when you go out, cultivate the attitude of responding to challenges, not emotionally reacting. Responding versus reacting. Don't react, but respond. Whatever the responsibilities you have, to take care of them. But don't react and carry that heart and whatever all the time. And that's the second thing is cultivate the spirit of giving, serving other people's needs. That's the second. And the fourth thing, the third thing is don't be disynchronous about interacting or reacting. With your mind, don't do only what you like or what you don't like. Be equanimous. Then you won't build up the stress within you when you encounter difficulties or difficult people, difficult circumstances. So these seven things I'm trying to incorporate in the daily practice. When I come, I start with a warming breath, three types of it. Then I tell them be aware, be aligned of the body, brain, and breath. And then you do stretching at the same time, breathing, the same being in the present, at the same time watching the thoughts. If they come, just don't do anything. And then as I'm providing a service, if somebody has a certain pain, I will do the routine. If they ask me, somebody will come back to you and ask me what are the two, three things you can do to the back pain, I can show you. But if you want more detailed, more personal, then you come and join this club. It will be a pound of it. Otherwise, just stretch and breathe and be in the present and watch your thoughts and cultivate this attitude of not reacting, but providing service and being equanimous in your response to whatever challenges are coming. What happens with all this is you will develop your own inner resilience without medications, but just moving the body and keeping the mind silent and deep breathing. Then you are going to balance your uh, diurnal rhythms, and you will listen to the body more, and you will act according to those intelligence. Then you are much more can detect your illnesses or not being well very quickly and take action. And that's a proactive wellness I'm talking. You be proactive about your wellness means you discover this discomfort symptoms, whatever that happen, very early, and then so you can fix them quickly. So instead of waiting for the diseases like by not having exercise in the morning, not preparing for the work, or going to the work and stressing out, and then coming home and then taking a drink and try to sleep. All those modern habits have been burning people out, have stressing people out. So I got these antidotes of deep breathing, being in the present, and really going there. Okay, so all these things you want to focus. Okay. So, anybody else has any questions? You guys have to come up and ask me questions, and that will be better rather than me talking to you all. Don't be shy or don't be hesitant. Nothing is small, nothing is big. We are all friends here, and my company name is BFHAL. So when I come here, it is just to indicate you certain uh, areas of interest, certain areas that you want to go and explore, and not accept everything uh, as authority, but more like an indication for some things that you want to look at and investigate and find the truth of the matter by your own mind, right? Then it becomes your property. You are not following anybody, you are following the truth of any matter. Okay. See, the tragedy is there's so much wisdom about human being from the ancients. And I personally uh, gained a lot. Physically, I kind of recovered from an intense stroke, and I was able to use my thought efficiently. Instead of working against me, it is working for me. And I have a lot of energy and a lot of peace and quiet within because I don't have to scramble for anything that you don't need. Right? Everything is there, abundance. So it's a beautiful, blessed life that is peaceful and okay. So once you discover that what they call Satchit Anand, that is existence, which is our life force is always existent, which is the consciousness, which is alert and aware, and which is a bliss if you can discover it. This is not the mind that's thinking all over things and then producing you unrest, producing you lack of peace. Once that becomes quiet and that is used for what you're supposed to use. See, I use thought only for external purposes. But when I turn inward, it's not a thought, it's not a sensation. It is an intuition that we all have. With that, you feel your own real self. Okay? So that's why I want to point out that here, as I come up and talk about people. Yesterday, I worked on something called chronic stress and what we should do. So that is already written down, and maybe the book is going to come up. I write a lot of books. I don't publish them unless somebody asks me. I don't give it to them because there's so much editing, so much publishing, so much marketing. I don't have um, penchant for that. But I'm going to leave the digital assets to my kids, and then they can distribute as they want. Okay. So these are the life deeper questions I'm interested in, existential concerns at the consciousness level, death and dying, at what is the true purpose of human being, and how can you enhance yourself as a human being, and also how can you help other human beings not only relieve the suffering, but also work on enhancing themselves. So I really believe that we have this inner resilience which we neglect, which you kind of sacrifice, and then we give lot of way to including medications, herbals, and all that. But if you know how to tap that inner healing, tap that inner resilience, you will be like me. No medications for 15 years now, I think. And I didn't take any medications. And I just eat good food. And I had a very lovely breakfast with blueberries, strawberries, and um, peanuts and nuts, and then oatmeal that is brown. Okay. So that's a very good meal in the morning, I think. So I also don't eat unless I'm hungry. Okay. So if you want to know details of the nutrition and the yoga way of nutrition, what kind of energy each food has, and how to really select that matches our energy, and how to grow them, how do you prepare them, how do you sit down and eat them, and how do you control it. I'm in the same weight for about 15 years now. That is also universe blessing, right? So I can talk about these things that are bring to your life that you could maybe have curiosity about, or you have a different understanding about. You can come and share, and that will be okay. I do come on this young health coaches on Mumbai, and I like the way they present each one in an expertise mode, both science and ancient wisdom. Maybe they do different rooms, but then I get it what they're trying to do. They're trying to help you uh, to improve your values. Okay, so I may be at other levels, but then doesn't mean all those things are not important. So I do think they are important. Like Doris, Chelsea, any number of people come and they talk to heaven. So and when I come and talk to them, they appreciate that too. So that's encouraging. So with that, if everybody is satisfied with what I have to say, I hope I have provided some service for you. You can think about walking meditation. You can think about pratyahara, travel senses. You can think about silence of the mind. You can think about inner resilience. All these topics I talked today. So you listen to them again if you want to understand more, or if you have an opinion about it, let me know what you think about it, or if you have any questions about it, DM. Okay. So with that, I will stop here and I'll see you back here tomorrow.